Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus, the only YouTuber that shows you full games of all the tips and schemes I post on my channel. I show you the good, the bad, and the ugly against online ranked opponents. Alright, so guys, I actually want to go ahead and show you an expanded version of the gun doubles week. There's actually 3 plays that I use for passing plays that you can use in a no huddle situation, a nice little hurry up type of offense, and essentially I can attack every single area of the field with this particular formation and selecting one play only as my base play. Now I do want to let you know this is going to be a redo of one of my base plays that I showed you earlier in this breakdown scheme, which was Y corner. I actually found that the way I had the play set up could easily get shut down with just underneath coverage with like a cover 3, and my opponent could play the inside of the field and basically take away a lot of my reads and set me up for interceptions. So I went back to the drawing board and I said, okay, what kind of a route combinations can I complement it so it'll force my opponent to pick his poison, allowing me to go ahead and get an open field. So let me go ahead and show you the Y corner and some of the adjustments that I did from that. We're going to run this against random nickel defenses, so I don't know what the CPU is going to come out. Now, what's great about this particular play, the Y corner, is you've got that speed out route by the running back, and that is a money route. You can get a lot of first downs with it. But I had a lot of opponents that were using underneath coverage. They were using cover 3 coverages, and they were playing the middle of the field, taking away my initial read with a running back route, and then actually going ahead and making the progressions up. So basically, what I decided to do is the following adjustments. I'm going to streak up my number 3 receiver, which is Crowder. And instead of actually leaving Jackson on the deep in route, I'm going to put him on a deep comeback route. That gives me a read against most shells and allow me to go ahead and attack my opponent and get a nice 20-yard gain, which means I'm getting first downs. And then on the backside, I'll do a slant route if I got time, because it is a third adjustment, and I'm not going to motion him. I'm not going to bother with it. I don't want to give my opponent any kind of read or any kind of a tendency. Now, my first progression is going to be the deep comeback route, and if the defender actually falls back, completely back, I'm going to go ahead and try to pop that. But if not, I'm going to go do the underneath route, which is going to be the running back route. Now, that running back route is going to be pretty much money against most coverages. I can go ahead and attack my opponent, and they're going to have to start doing underneath coverage and start trying to take away their read. So basically, once again, we're going to slant up I'm going to slant up the backside wide receiver. You're going to go ahead and streak up my number 3 receiver, and then I'm going to go ahead and just take the read underneath. And as you can see, that's basically the big play. All right, so where this play gets interesting is the deep comeback route. Usually what happens is if you have any kind of an opening like that, you can go ahead and hit your opponent with easy yardage with a deep comeback route. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and leave that deep comeback route. If the defender actually gives you the back, he's usually not going to make a play on that deep comeback route, and you can just go ahead and just pop that and get an easy 10-15 yards off that play or more if you rack it after the fact. So really it's just going to be just a couple progressions, and the deep comeback route will get past a lot of cloud coverages or shell coverages on the outside like that. So that's what I do like about it, is that it makes it very difficult for your opponent to defend those different areas of the field. You've also got the crosser with the guy going off the backside. So that's another area of the field you can hit if your opponent really starts picking up on your tendencies. Now, the natural thing the opponent is going to do is he's probably going to jump into some kind of a Mabel coverage. So to keep him honest, what you can do is you can go into the next audible, which is 4 verticals. 4 verticals basically is a very popular play in Madden Pass, and even now, what I like to do is actually go ahead and take my wide receiver Jackson, put him in a slant route, and I could do a deep comeback route or leave the vertical on the backside with Garcon. But really what I'm going to be looking for is either running back who just couldn't get out. That was just a bad route by Jones right there. But generally good tiered running backs, they're going to basically go ahead and get a good clean release. Now, my first read is going to be Jackson, because I like to do the slant streak concept, so you can hit your opponent in the seam right away, especially if he's running a cover 3 Mabel to the side. It is a fairly easy progression you can do. Also got a deep comeback route on the backside if I want to go ahead and pop my opponent for that. But the running back route with a very good running back, you're going to be able to go and pick up an easy 10 yards with that with verticals. So now you're essentially attacking your opponent on two sides of the field with this particular concept. You're attacking on the right side, on the left side. He's going to have a hard time stopping all this stuff coming across the middle, and that was a corner blitz on that particular defense right there. So basically when I see press coverage, I want to go ahead and jump into the play action read. And the reason why is that I want to go ahead and try to abuse my opponent with a deep play. So play action read is a really good play to go ahead and jump into. And you can see I've got a deep comeback route, I've got a whip route, I've got the play action. Now what I like to do is streak up my wide receiver, fade him up, streak is fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my inside receiver and put him on a slant route. Now if this is a corner blitz, you might want to, if your opponent's using a lot of nickel blitz, he's blitzing off the nickel, then you might want to block your running back. But my first progression is going to be this route right here. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to attack my opponent for a big play, and I've got one progression and one read. All right, so I've got press coverage. I don't think he's gonna blitz off the edge. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make one read and one read only. So this backside safety is gonna either support that that one-on-one coverage, or he's gonna come to the middle. As soon as he moves into the middle, I know that 9 out of 10 times my number one receiver is going to beat this corner right down the field. So I'm going to go ahead and just lob it right up. And 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to be able to run past this guy for a good 60-yard gain. So once again, same kind of an adjustment. I got press coverage. I'm going to watch the safety, but this time he falls into coverage, and my next progression is going to be my backside post. So once again, I know that on a press coverage, this guy is going to beat the coverage 9 out of 10 times. He's going to get past the defender, and I can go ahead and just lob it up for a rack. But my read really is going to be this guy right here to see where he falls. If he falls into any kind of a coverage that's going to be trying to defend that deep ball, which is either cover 4 or basically cover 2, this route is going to, any kind of underneath coverages is going to essentially get cleared out by this tight end route. And I know 9 out of 10 times that if it's a zone coverage, a special cover 2 coverage, this deep post route is going to get easy completion. And all I have to do is just once he gets a separation, I'm just going to go ahead and possession catch it, because look at this, I'm possession catching this for 20 yards. 20 yards. That's moving the chains 9 out of 10 times. Rarely you're going to be going ahead and running into situations where you need a 25-yard gain. So this is a very easy play to run, and the beautiful thing about it too is, once again, you can keep your opponent honest. You can check the ball down underneath to the running back, and in that situation was man coverage, but I was able to pick up a good 15-20 yards right there. So yeah, this is going to be a play I'm going to jump into when it's press coverage. I've also got, if it's man coverage, I got the backside slant. That is going to get usually fairly good separation, especially if you have a good number 3 wide receiver. So this is going to allow me to essentially tack every single route in this game, and I've also got just basically the big play up top. But I pretty much hit all 5 routes in this particular play, and if my opponent is concentrating on the other plays, concentrating on all those other things, 9 out of 10 times you're going to basically go ahead and get yourself a nice completion. So guys, I hope you like this scheme. I had pretty good success with it online, and I really just started mastering it as I got a little bit further into the game, but I was picking up some fairly monster first downs with it consistently, and some of the opponents I ran into, I just shredded them with it. So guys, subscribe to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I would definitely recommend subscribing. This is gonna allow you to see the gameplay, see the adjustments I make, and also I'm gonna provide you guys tips every other day. You're gonna get new tips from me, which are gonna be things that you're gonna see live against online ranked opponents. So it's just not a tip to say, hey, this is a great idea. I'll actually show you how well it works against real opponents. So once again, to my subscribers, I appreciate the support, and until next time.